Hi, everybody. This is Norm DeBay with Copa Health. I am the Vice President of Marketing, and this is the Copa Roundup. So glad that you are all here again with us this week, April 22nd. I know that we had Easter this past week, so a lot of people, especially Christian faith, they probably ate too much food, and kids got lost trying to find Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it's really been a wonderful spring so far, but I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, today we've got Jen Jonas. And Jen has got a new position. She's the Director of People and Culture here at Copa Health. And we are just so lucky to, have her on. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Norm. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Always, Jen. It's just so good to see you. I know that you're one of the few people that I get to see on a fairly regular basis, both on Zoom and in person. And it's just so nice. And you're able to be a part of this and basically brag a little bit about what you've been doing and what your department has been doing and where the organization is heading. But I understand that in the past couple of weeks, you finished something pretty big in your personal life, which is going to help in your professional life. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can. I just recently completed my MBA, in fact, yesterday. So.
Oh, fabulous. So Masters of Business Administration, I believe that's what MBA stands for. And I'm pretty proud of you. I think it's wonderful. And Copa has such great people here, and you just seem to be getting better and better and better. So, two things, Jen. I mentioned at the top of the taping here that you are now the Director of People and Culture, which is a new position for you, fairly new. Tell us about your move within Copa and what you do as being the Director of People and Culture and how everything is going.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's fairly new, like you said. About 7 months ago, I was switched from Administrator of Organizational Development and Learning over to Director of People and Culture. And I would say that this change aligns with the change within my department, which was previously Human Resources and is now the People First team. So we've been working on aligning our different roles with what that means. The shift from Human Resources to People First was inspired by a change in mindset about how we manage human capital, how we manage human resources, and realizing that people aren't resources, they're not capital, they're people. And so we really are trying to reimagine the way that we conduct our function, which is to support employees, be more proactive, and have a heavy emphasis on the culture that supports people and their growth and development, and ultimately their productivity in the work that they do. So this role really is about serving the employees of Copa and all of their learning and development, people experience needs. And that's what my team does. So I've got 4 amazing team members, and they address all things training, career development. If you have questions about continuing education or a licensure or tuition reimbursement program, my team can handle that. But also other opportunities for growth, like the mentorship program that we're going to talk about today. So really, this is just a shift in mindset and being cognizant of our language and how we define things.
The thing that I really like about that is I talk about our core values here at Copa Health, and we have 6 of them, and people first is first. And I think that that's so appropriate that it is, at the top of the list. All the others are very important too. But I know that people first is one of the things that really defines Copa Health and its culture. So I just think it's wonderful that the Human Resources Department has transitioned to the People First team. I think that's just fabulous. So why don't you tell us a little bit about a new program that we're having at Copa? I know it has to do with mentoring. So why don't you tell us a little bit what it is and how it works and who might be able to take advantage of it?
Definitely. So the Level Up Mentorship Program was originally inspired by our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Sharna Jaffe-Piper, when she reached out and said that it was really important to her that employees at Copa Health have an opportunity to seek mentorship for the purpose of professional growth and development. Level Up, I will claim that one. That was my idea, being a little bit of a video game nerd. I really liked the name, and I'm not always really great at coming up with names, but I got hearty enthusiasm from my team that they liked it. It sounded good, and it was what we wanted to use to promote this program rather than just calling it the mentorship program. So we called it Level Up, and what it's really intended to do is provide opportunities to Copa employees to connect with leaders, established leaders who are interested in giving back and investing in other future leaders. It's designed for employees of all levels. So you can be an individual contributor, you could be a supervisor, a manager, even a director, and apply for this program. And what we will do is link you up with a mentor, which we have just over 160 leaders at Copa. So we're hoping we'll have a really big database of people willing to make that investment in other leaders soon. And we'll link them up using some different measurement tools like the Predictive Index Talent Optimization platform, which does behavioral assessments to help people understand their strengths and their drivers. We'll also use, the application process, which will capture what a person really wants to work on, and we'll match that with what the mentors want to help provide guidance on. So yeah, really exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. And I'll tell you, Jen, the thing that is so exciting for me is I never really felt like I had a mentor until maybe my 4th year here at Copa Health. And then I had somebody for a year, Don Jackson, who was actually our board chair for a while. And then he came to work as our first chief operating officer. And I had him for 1 year. Unfortunately, he passed away then, but I felt like I learned so much more with him just sitting down and, telling me the way it is and things that he thinks I could be doing differently. And asking me what I wanted. It was just such a great thing. So I'm excited about the Level Up program. I just had an employee who was lucky enough to move on to a bigger position here at Copa Health. And, when I was talking to her in the last week or so, one of the things she said was that she had learned so much just talking to me. And I tell you, I got a little emotional. So I think both the mentor and the mentee get something out of this. So I'm excited about it. Can you give us some details about the program, how someone can go about becoming part of it, getting a mentor, becoming a mentor, what types of things people might learn from a mentor, and how it really helps specifically Copa employees and Copa Health overall?
Yeah, definitely. First, to your point about having a mentor, it's true. People who are successful almost always had somebody who invested their time and energy into them. Almost impossible to meet your professional goals without some kind of support. Sometimes that support looks like family support, it looks like significant other, but a lot of times it looks like a coworker or a boss or a leader at your organization who believed in you and invested that time and energy. So it is a really key indicator of success for individuals to have access to that person. But to explain what the program is and how people can get involved, we have a space on CopaNet already available. 2 pages that you'll want to check out. The first one is all about the Level Up Mentorship Program, and that will give you the program guide, the specifics. But to summarize, the Level Up program is for a period of 1 year. So once you get linked up with a mentor, you and that mentor would meet together however often you both agree is feasible for your schedules. No more than a couple of hours per month, but preferably that 1 to 2 hours per month is our sweet spot so far with our pilot group. So 1 to 2 hours per month with your mentor for a period of 1 year, where you will develop a plan together of specifically what you want to work on. Think of it like professional development plan or a service plan. So you would apply for the program on CopaNet, filling out that application and sending it in to levelup@copahealth.org. Then we would put you on the database for the next cohort. We're going to be running 2 cohorts a year. So right now we have our pilot cohort, which is all 14 of our executive leadership team members. And we have a database of 30 mentee applicants that we are matching them up with currently. We have a couple of last matches to make, but most of our executive leaders have been matched up with their mentees for the pilot. The first official cohort is going to start July 1st. We are beginning recruitment for mentees and mentors immediately. So people can plan to start hearing about it. We're going to be training our mentors on how to provide mentorship, what tools are available to them, how to read the predictive index behavioral assessments, how to use those different tools in May or June. So once we have a good database of mentors, we'll do a training with them, prepare them for their matches, and then we'll start sending them the applications and the profiles of their potential mentees. We'll send each mentor hopefully about 2 to 3 mentees each so that they can review what their choices are. Then they'll make their selection. Once the mentee has been matched with the mentor, we'll reach out to the mentee and let them know you've been matched. And we will set up a first session where the mentee, mentor, and I will get together. I will be there for 5 to 10 minutes just to kind of lay some groundwork, explain the different tools and what their expectations are for that session. And from there, they will set their own cadence of meetings and meet once to twice per month for the period of 1 year. Throughout that time, we plan on providing different educational opportunities, connection points, just to get everybody together, hear how it's going, provide some, social mingling amongst these people who have decided to join and participate in this program. So lots planned for this year. First cohort in July, the next one will be in January of next year, but we'll start recruiting in December. What we'll do in the meantime is if we have interest, if we have people applying in the in-between, we'll add them to the database. And our hope is that when we come upon a cohort month, we'll have a good, group of mentors and mentees, and we'll be able to make the best matches possible from those groups.
That's just, it's so exciting to me. It's one of those things where I almost hear it, and it's like I feel about, technology or, cell phones or smartphones. I always think, God, I wish I would have had this in my 20s and 30s, something that I could have done back then. And, who knows, maybe I'll end up with a mentor at some point again. And that would just be, a formal mentor. That would be fabulous. I feel like I've got a lot of people that give me advice, and, every time I do new employee orientation, NEO, and I know that at times you're part of that. I always ask people to do 4 or 5 things, but I always make an offer. Listen, if you need something, call me, email me, text me. I think it's going to be great that they have a formal, that people here at Copa will have a formal person to work with. So fabulous. I imagine you're excited about it.
I'm super excited about it. Yeah. I think in order to really practice leadership, you have to develop other leaders. And that's my call to all of our leaders who might be watching is you're not a true leader until you're developing other leaders. And when you become a leader, it's an imperative that you support and develop those people that might come up behind you. That's a truly psychologically safe culture. And that's the kind of culture that we're trying to create and sustain here at Copa. So lots of things to come from this program. One more thing I want to mention is we are looking at different ways to reward participants. So we are looking at ways to provide an evaluation process so that at the end of it, they have something to take away with them that they could use for promotion opportunities in the future. So we're looking at the mentor providing some formal feedback and putting that into our HCM Chronos. We're also looking at badges for CopaNet that Linda's helping us design. So lots of fun things that we're looking at. For our mentors, we would really like to say this will be taken into consideration, your contribution to this program, and we just really urge you. And I think that having our executive leadership team be the first to participate and take on mentees says a lot, that we have that kind of strong leadership who are willing to walk the talk and put themselves first. So I'm just really proud of this organization and everything that we've done so far, and really excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, I am excited too. And when I hear from one of our executives, Shar, or Dr. Wendy Bond, I've talked to about this, and I hear about mentors they've had in their lives. I just think it's so exciting that especially, given how our organization keeps growing and growing, that we're putting this as a priority. So, thank you so much, Jen. Hopefully I'll be able to get to be somewhat involved in it. I'm excited about being involved in it if I can, but I really appreciate you being on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was great to see you.
Well, I'll tell you what, every once in a while we'll have somebody on, and I just can see that I'm going to want them back to talk about something in the future. So why don't we see if we can get you back on in 6-7 months and make sure that you give us an update on how this program is going. I think that a lot of times we get really excited about things going out the gate, but very similar to CopaNet and other things, we need to have some energy so that it just keeps going forward. And I want to hear how things are going with this program, like I said, 6-7 months down the line. So will you come back and join us?
I would love that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jen. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you in the hallways and on Zoom. Hopefully in the hallways more than on Zoom. It's just so great to see you. So, hey, everybody, that is our Copa Roundup for this week, ending Friday, April 22nd. We are going to be joined next week by someone who's going to be talking to us about Maternal Mental Health Day. We're really looking forward to that because I'll tell you, there's so many aspects to our life. And, obviously being a mother is just one of them, but it's very important that people get the support they need, that women get the support they need, especially right after and for a few years after their child is born, because I'll tell you, especially if it's a first child, I don't know how women do it. I don't know how you can find your way through that process. But we're going to have somebody here talking to us about that, especially the mental health aspect. So we're excited about that. But until next week, everybody, stay safe, take care of yourself. Once again, if you haven't had your COVID-19 vaccination or you haven't had your flu vaccination, go out and get it. I know I've been suffering from allergies a lot lately, but sometimes the only thing that keeps me going is knowing that I'm protected as much as I can against COVID and the flu. So we will see you all again next week, April 29th. Until then, everybody take care.